What's up, guys? Brennan from worldofbikes.co.za here, and today I have quite the treat for you guys. As you guys have seen from the intro footage, we have got a stunning Honda CBR600RR. This is a 07 model. I believe the 07s and the 08s were pretty much the exact same. Really good bikes. These are by far my favorite 600cc's out of this era, so I'm not even going to try and not be biased. These things are amazing. They are by far the best 600 that came out of that era. And this is coming from me riding R6s, ZX6s, Triumph 675s, as well as, and that was the Daytona, I believe. I said R6s, Kawi's, what's the other Japanese one? Oh, the GSXR. I've ridden one of those as well. These things, by far my favorite. This one we got very lucky. This thing is absolutely dead standard. There's been no modifications to it other than rear swing arm spools. So she's pretty much dead standard. Almost 37,000 kilometers on the clocks. Great bike cities. I'm just going to cruise around a little bit, keep the RPM nice and low. Let's just get some temperature in the engine. We'll chat about some facts around the bike. I was smart enough to do a little bit of research this time. So these things from the factory pack out at about 118 horsepower, which is plenty enough. This bike's power band is not like a lot of the other 600cc's in the class. This bike specifically has a very linear power band, where especially like the R6s, they only start to become 600cc's, I like to say, at about 8,000, 9,000 RPM, which is halfway through the rev range when they really jump on their power band. And trust me, when you get it there, that thing goes like a rocket. Like, it's not for the faint-hearted at all. This bike I would compare more to the power band of 1000cc. You don't necessarily need to rev the nuts off of it to be able to actually get the power down. On this bike, I believe you're running a 1-pot rear brake caliper, a 4-pot front, twins in the front of course, and 180mm wide rear tire, which is pretty decently wide. I believe this bike has a set of battle axes on front and rear. I'm not the biggest fan of the battle axes. I enjoy the Pirelli Pilot Sports a lot more. But these will do. I mean, for what we're doing, these will do more than well. I think the thing that I would say I like the most about this particular bike, the things I like the most particularly about the 600RRs is it feels like these bikes are like built with precision in mind. If you're gonna do no clutch shifting, that kind of stuff, these bikes absolutely eat it up. They love it. The more the better, I sometimes feel. And then just, I can't get over this bike's power curve. It is so linear. It is really good. But don't get me wrong, if you're gonna pump it up in the RPM range, you're gonna turn into a rocket and you might just scare yourself. This bike is exceptionally light, handles like an absolute dream, handles better than the BMW that I did a review on earlier in the month. And one thing about that, guys, please do consider subscribing. It is free. Drop a like. We've been doing really well on views, and now we just need to pick up that subscriber rate up a little bit. But anyway, back to the bike. This bike is dead standard. It is blue, which is not the color you see them in a lot. You don't see this color a lot in this specific generation. You see the red a lot. It only came out in 4 colors to the best of my knowledge, which was literally red and black, blue and white, and then white and gray, and then just black. I do quite like the black ones. I think that they've got their time and place. They look really good. Here we've got a nice little straight, so we might be able to get it on a little bit. Temperature is nice and picking up. These bikes are very difficult to talk to a ton because it's a lot more of a feeling bike. Like, a lot of people buy Rolexes for the point of investment and all that kind of stuff, but let's be honest, if you're gonna wear it, you're gonna feel like $1,000,000. Let's get on it a little bit. Wow, this thing is beautiful, man, beautiful. My only complaint about this bike is the stock exhaust. I really wish the bike was louder. That's the only thing I was hoping for. Say hello. Getting back to it, a Rolex. You know, when you wear a Rolex, you feel like $1,000,000. And yes, it'll hold its value and all that kind of economic stuff that we all should care about. But ultimately, it's gonna tell you the time, which is what it's supposed to. Exactly the same with this bike. It's supposed to take you from A to B. It's supposed to not kill you, allegedly. But for the most part, you know, it's a mode of transport. Okay, that's rather illegal. It's a mode of transport ultimately, and it's supposed to take you from A to B. But let me tell you, riding this bike, it just makes all the sense in the world. It makes everything make sense. It's beautiful. It really gives you the feeling of a motorcycle, and what I believe a lot of people's idea of a motorcycle is. Just the absolute precision, the performance, the handling. Everything is there, and it just works beautifully. I love these bikes in particular because they love mileage. They love being ridden. I had one a couple of years ago, probably 2 or 3 years ago. That was resprayed. You know, it wasn't a mint condition bike like this one, and it had, I speak under correction, but I think it was 96,000 kilometers on the clock. It was this like burgundy red, and it still rode exactly the same. It was decently maintained, nothing over the top, just normal maintenance, doing your valves every so often. I think it's every 25 or 30,000 kilometers on these bikes. Just doing general maintenance on them, and they will last forever. That's one of the main things that I like about Honda so much. We're gonna quickly jump onto a freeway style piece just because I want to make this bike scream a little bit more. But it's just, I know I ride this bike like you're not supposed to. I'm riding it very low in the RPM range, especially for the 600s, but this thing is so torquey. It's just got the gap everywhere. It is, I actually can't say enough about this bike, because everything about it is just so good. It feels good, it's light, it pulls you into the tank, it asks to be ridden. What more do you want in a motorcycle? Versus 1000cc, 1000cc is only going to start gapping you past 200 kilometers an hour. And let's be real, if you're not on a track, you shouldn't be going 200 kilometers an hour. And I know I should be getting some flack from other people, but you got to be safe. You got to think about the people around you. Think about who else's life you're putting in danger. But my oh my, this thing is stunning. I absolutely love this bike. I love these bikes. I will always try and buy them just so I can ride them. They hold their value. After COVID, they've shot up in value, surprisingly. I absolutely just love these things, and I will definitely be having one of these in my garage very soon for myself, because it is just that good of a bike.